Hello and welcome to my studio. I'm Jessie and this is the Knit Up and Dye podcast, episode 100, Casting Forward. As always, I'm going to start with my thank yous. I really love you guys. And this thank you that I do at the beginning is really important to me. I've actually had a couple people write to me and tell me how much it means to them that their name is called out every week. And I've had a few people who've said, oh, you've got a really long list of names, maybe you could just scroll them. No, I want to thank you in person. I want to say your name. You mean a lot to me, and it's important that I thank people for their generosity, their time, their support. Thank you. Hello goes out to Denise, Liz, Panushka, Ruben, Turtle Crafty Mom. Thank you for adding me to your lives. Special love and thanks go out to Toonie, Glenda, Tara, Diane, Allison, Barbara, Faye, Julie, Janelle, Erica, Adriana, Wayne, Sonia, Patricia, Lisa Lette, Cappy, Kath, Jorge, Chris, Benty, Christy, Neetsy, Charlotte, Roseanne, Linda, Marie, Eve, David, Donna, Betty Ann, Lisa Lette. Did I get you? I think I got you twice. You deserve twice. Scott and John, Kate, Janet, and Terry over at Unwound, Monica, Bex, Carolyn, Nancy, Rachel. Thank you. Much love goes out to my Zoom family. Robert, Juanita, Paula, Brian, Jen, Elizabeth, Katie, Shirley, Roz, and Jamie. Hello, Jamie. A warm hello and thank you go out to all of my patrons. You honor me. You make this possible. Thank you. So, let's kick right in. What have I been knitting? I actually got some knitting done. I just haven't been knitting on a lot of different things. My focus has really been on wrapping up, writing some patterns, and trying to get projects done. To that end, the How to Eat an Elephant blanket has camped this week. I have not put any effort into that this week. I was really much more focused on my secret birthday socks for John. They're not done yet. They're not. But I've got time. I've got at least another week, maybe 2 weeks. I think I have 2 weeks before his birthday. This is the second sock, and I am all the way down under the foot. I don't have much further to go before I can do the toe. So I'm really making good progress on this. I fully expect that these will be done this week, early this week. Let's take a quick look. Line this up. Oh yeah, I think I can start the toe immediately. I may even finish these tonight in front of the TV after dinner. That would be great. I would love to get these completed. I've dreamt about washing and blocking them and getting them all prepared to present to him. It means a lot to me. I really want him to have a second pair of hand knit socks. It's something that I can do, something very personal that I can give him. He appreciates them. It's not something he'll wear every day. He runs kind of warm. He wears t-shirts in the winter. But when he's camping, wool socks are everything. And that is my way of being with him when he's gone. So, yay. For his birthday, John's getting a pair of socks. And although I've knit them in front of him, I've been very careful about my language that I'm working on my socks. I want them to be kind of a surprise to him, and of course he'll recognize them when I give them to him, but I haven't straight out told him, oh, I'm knitting these for you, so he doesn't necessarily know they're for him. Maybe. I'd like it to be a surprise. We try. What else have I been knitting? Well, not too much. Not too much. I haven't had a lot of free time. My free time has really been tied into twisting and labeling yarns for my trunk show, prepping orders, really focusing on that sort of thing, constructing swag bags, finishing my taxes, and working on my patterns. Making sure that they're all tacked up, that the notes are all there, responding to my test knitters. Thank you guys. Test knitting is so, so important, and I try to get back to you. If you have a question, I try to turn around to you just as quickly as possible as soon as I get that message. And resolve the problem. Make sure that I'm communicating the instructions properly and learning from your comments and your questions how you look at the pattern, what you see, what you need from a pattern, and how I can communicate more clearly. This is so valuable, so valuable. Thank you guys for all your hard work on Porch Light. This is Porch Light. It is out to test knitting, and I hope to have a release for May 1st. I'm really excited about that. I've had a couple people say, okay, Porch Light is really, really pretty, but it's a one skein project, and I want something more robust. That's what I've been working on this week. Let's see if I can pull it up here from the sidelines. I've been working on Porch Light's big sister, and it's really coming along quite nicely. Sneak peek. I'm very happy with it. I love the color. I don't know if this is going to come out very pretty. This is my Lilac Breeze colorway. It is available on my Samba base. I don't think I have it listed in the shop yet. I've been waiting to get this kind of done before I did that. But I have a bigger multi-skein version of Porch Light in process, and I'm really excited about getting that done. It's quite possible that I will have that ready to go by the end of May. Maybe, hopefully sooner. I'm really, really trying to push to get that out and have that available for my trunk show at Unwound in May. So, we can do it. We can do it. Casting forward, I'm going to do this. I'm putting more emphasis into my design work, into my dyeing, and into tutorials. I'm going to insert a quick tutorial for you guys here. It's sloppy. I'm sorry. I'm all jittery. I've had too much coffee this morning. But I wanted to kind of review the Longtail Cast On, which is a lovely stretchy cast on that you can use for just about anything. I wanted to re-demonstrate for you the Infinite Longtail Cast On, and I've done a tutorial on these before, but I wanted to just kind of review them for you. Also, I wanted to review the Chinese Waitress Cast On, and that's really what this cast on tutorial is about this week. Is the Chinese Waitress Cast On, I almost said tattoo. The Chinese Waitress Cast On is an incredibly elastic, resilient, flexible cast on. It's a little fiddly to work unless you modify it. And I have a modification to the Chinese Waitress Cast On that I refer to as the Drive-Thru. Get your Chinese and go. It's a simple modification, and hopefully this is a modification that you will be willing to attempt and will streamline and make that cast on more attainable, easier to use, faster. Give it a try. Here you go. So before I show you my modified Chinese Waitress Cast On, I want to review a couple of other cast-ons. These are stretchy cast-ons. That's the whole point of the Chinese Waitress Cast On, is that it's really elastic. You may already be familiar with the Longtail Cast On, and I'm going to show you that one as well. With the Longtail Cast On, you're going to be creating a long tail. That's why it's called the Longtail Cast On. Generally, I leave 6 inches, and then from there I leave 1 inch per stitch in my tail. I then create a slip knot and put the slip knot on the needle such that the tail that I just created is on the back of the needle. Snug that onto the needle. Then, to form the hand to do the cast on, you take your index finger and your thumb and you reach between the tail and the ball lines. Separate your fingers and grab the tails underneath to tension them. Just like this. From here, you're creating a loop with your thumb, going up through that loop, catching the back line, drawing it through, dropping the loop on your thumb, and then using your thumb to tension the stitch onto the needle. I'm going to show you that again. Up through the loop created by your thumb, catch the line from your index finger, draw it through, drop your thumb out of the loop, and then use your thumb to tension the yarn onto the needle. Loop, draw through, tension, loop, draw through, tension, loop, draw through, tension. This is a lot of action on the left hand, or you can do it with a lot of action on the right hand, whatever is most comfortable for you. This cast on requires good estimating skills. I have cast on some of these 4 or 5 times because I left my tail too short. That can be really frustrating. So I discovered that I could create an infinite longtail cast on. To do the infinite longtail cast on, if you're working like a sweater project, you can use 2 balls of yarn. If you're using a hat project, you could cast on the inside line and the outside line of the same ball of yarn. To demonstrate this, I'm going to do it with 2 different colors of yarn so that you can see exactly what's happening. To begin the infinite longtail cast on, you take 2 different lines, 2 ends, create a slip knot like you did before, and put that on the needle. Now we don't have a front and a back this time. We have 2 totally separate lines. Pick whichever one you want to do. You're going to drop this slip knot off. Do not count this as a cast on stitch. Do the same action as you did with the longtail cast on for as long as you need. When you are all done casting on and you're ready to work your stitches, you're simply going to cut one of these 2 lines. For example, if you're working with the inside of a ball of yarn and the outside of a ball of yarn, you may choose to cut the outside line to continue with, so that you can continue with a center pull ball. Once you've cut that line and you're ready to knit your project, you can knit that tail right into your work so that you don't have to weave it in later. Again, when you're counting those stitches, this first stitch created by the slip knot, you're going to drop that off. And I'm just going to pull this through my circular needle here to show you dropping that off, pulling that through. No bulk, no extra knots, but this way you do have 2 tails that you're going to have to weave in, plus the cast on tail that you'll weave in. Yes, there's extra weaving in. This one you're going to knit in. These, honestly, once you get back around to them, you could knit those in too. You don't have to weave everything, I promise. So that's 2 ways to do the longtail cast on. Now let's look at the Chinese Waitress Cast On. So with the Chinese Waitress Cast On, again, you're creating a slip knot. And that slip knot is going to get taken off the needle at the end. It's only for your setup. When you set up the Chinese Waitress Cast On, you start by creating a T with your needles, and you have the line come from underneath this working needle. You go up and over your needle, your stitch needle, around the back, and you draw this through. That's your setup. Here's your first stitch on the line. You then pinch this stitch, take your needle out, and reinsert it in the other direction. Notice how it's already under this needle and ready to go. From behind the needle, over the needle, around the needle, whoop, draw under. Now you have 2 stitches on this needle. This is how it's going to proceed across the rest of this cast on. You then take this needle, lift the first stitch over and off like a cast off, and you have 1 stitch left. Again, you pinch it and enter the needle back in from the other direction. Under, around, draw through, 2 stitches on the needle, lift the first stitch over and off, 1 stitch remains, pinch, reverse needle position, and repeat. It looks complicated. It's not. You're going to get a rhythm of this very, very quickly. And it creates a beautiful elastic cast on. Wonderful for hats, wonderful for mittens, wonderful for sweaters, wonderful for socks. I really love this cast on. It is a multi-purpose cast on. Its elasticity is, I can't say enough about its elasticity. It's really very resilient. But this cast on is kind of clunky. The part of this that I really dislike the most is right here, where I'm pinching and reinserting that needle. If I'm in a car and I'm casting on a sock, I risk dropping stitches, I risk losing my place. It's really quite complicated and I don't enjoy that. There has to be a better way. But wait, there is. Employ a double-pointed needle. I'm slipping out this time and setting aside the end of my circular needle. Now I've got my DPN in place. I'm going to do the exact same thing that I did before, drawing through, lifting off. But here's where I renamed this the Chinese Waitress Drive-Thru. I'm not going to pinch this and pull this out and put it back through the other way. Nope, I'm on a DPN. DPN means I got a point on each end. Instead, I'm simply going to rotate the needle like that. That's it. It's set up for the next stitch already. How easy is that? Around, pull through, over and off, rotate and drive through, around, through, over and off, rotate and drive through. It's a Chinese drive-through, and it's much faster, so much less fiddly, and it puts that needle right back into position. I can get really fast with this one. It's still the Chinese Waitress Cast On. It's still creating that chain. It's still elastic. It's doing everything except making you release that stitch to continue. Rotate, drive through. Do keep in mind your DPN does need to be the same size. If you have difficulty with the Chinese Waitress Cast On because it's a little loose for you when you first start out, consider using a DPN that's one size smaller. It'll tighten up that chain. It can reduce your elasticity slightly, but while you're just practicing this and trying to get a handle on it, a smaller DPN may be exactly what you need. That's the Chinese Waitress Cast On drive-through method. That's it, guys. I really love that modification to the Chinese Waitress Cast On. It has really made my cast on more stable, faster, fun. I like it, and I'm really quick to go to that over the Longtail Cast On. Both are elastic. I think the Longtail Cast On is just a slightly less elastic cast on. With that modification, with that drive-through that I do, by using the double-pointed needle, it goes almost as fast. And that's really where I was hesitant to turn to it, because if I had to cast on the bottom edge of a sweater or even a hat using fine gauge and I was having to put on 200 stitches, oof. Taking the needle out and reinserting it for 200 stitches is tedious and dangerous, and you get split stitches and you lose your elasticity, and not good times, not fun. But with that double pointed needle, boy, it goes really fast and it's easy, and I get all the benefits of that cast on. Give it a try. If you have questions about it, of course, reach out to me. If you need me to demonstrate it a different way, a better way, let me know. What else have I been doing this week? Well, I received a lovely care package from my friend Juanita, who is part of my Zoom group family, and we had been talking about spinning. I was watching her spin on Zoom group one day, and I had done some drop spindle 100 years ago, and I didn't like it. And I didn't like it because the method that I was taught and the equipment that I was given were tedious. And I just could not understand why people would work for 30, 40 minutes to get 6 inches of string. It's all about your instructor. It's all about your tools, and coming at it from the right angle with the right equipment makes all the difference. Juanita very kindly gifted me a nice big box of fluff. Let's see if I can get it on there. And she gave me a spindle. And then we sat down together for, Juanita, I don't think it took you 3 minutes. I had a couple of the basic concepts in place, but having her step me through this again, I have a little bit of yarn under here. This is maybe 15, 20 minutes of work. I'm playing with this. I'm playing with this. Am I ever going to be a spinner? Probably not. But learning what goes into the yarn that you're using teaches you a lot about your equipment, a lot about your fiber, a lot about what you're doing and how to read your yarn differently. And everything I can learn about this process is useful. It helps me. Right now, what I'm doing is simply creating a single ply yarn. Well, Porch Light was made with a single ply high twist yarn. So now I'm looking at this differently. I'm looking at the thick and thin that I'm getting. I'm looking at the consistency and the art yarn styling that I'm getting out of this. And it makes me think differently about the design process. It makes me think differently about the looks that I can get out of this, and really gets me excited about doing more work with single ply. Also, it's making me more curious about all the different types of plying that you can do. Here I am trying to twist this up so that I don't lose my line. There we go. All the different types of plying that you can do. And I'm excited to get enough on here to learn how to ply so that I better understand that process and the makeup of my yarn. Play with your string, play with your fluff, and see what you can learn with it. Juanita, thank you so much. Thank you not only for helping me step away from my fear, for helping me see joy in this, for helping distract my mind so that I can give this another go, and giving me the courage and the strength and the desire to try this again. She sent me, like I said, a wonderful box of fluff and has been stepping me through the different things in here. And would you believe, I love this. I love this. I have to show this off. You can spin your own acrylic. The craft stores have acrylic bumps that you can spin, hand spin yourself, and get your own acrylic yarn. And look at the colors that you can get out of this. Isn't this gorgeous? I love this fiber. I'm looking forward to using it. The staple length is actually quite long. I'm really, really thrilled to give this a try. And really, this was the jumping off point. Juanita was showing this off to me, and I was like, really? That's acrylic? I want to play with that. And she very, very generously, thank you very much, sent me some to play with. So I have a box of fluff I need to spin. Will I become a spinner? Like I said, probably not. I don't ever, as much as I would love to own a wheel, just for the romanticism of it, for the decoration, I look at antique wheels and even current spinning wheels, and I think, what a beautiful piece of machinery. I have not got space in my home for a beautiful piece of machinery to sit and do nothing, which means I would have to employ it, and to employ it is, I'm not passionate about this yet. I'm not ready to go there. I think I'm actually more interested in weaving, but I don't see myself doing that either. So until then, fear not, I'm designing and I am knitting and playing and learning in the process. What else is going on? Dyeing. I don't have anything to show you of the dyeing. Really, I've been dyeing for the trunk show. I've been dyeing orders and just labeling and twisting those up. I have plans for all of next weekend to be just one giant dye-a-palooza. I may video a tutorial. There will not be a podcast next week. I have got massive amounts of dyeing that I need to do and really need to just focus on that. But if I have an opportunity to film a segment and demonstrate, I will do that, and I'll present that in the next podcast. My goal is to get much more hands-on, show you much more of what I'm doing with tutorials, with videos of me in action, as it were. And I hope this is interesting to you. Certainly let me know. And I need to talk to y'all about some changes, other changes that are coming up. Unfortunately, well, let's begin with. I need to talk to you guys about some changes that are coming up. Most importantly, coming up is a change to the Patreon program. I was informed by Patreon that I was outside of the terms of use agreement. I was not aware of this. I had read it. I apparently missed this information. I see other people using it that are doing the same thing, so it never occurred to me that we were all in violation of the terms of use. The terms of use agreement advises that to use the Patreon program, which is a platform that allows you to support my podcast with donations and allows me to provide exclusive content back to my patrons. One of the things that I was doing was, for the donations that you give me, I was offering a giveaway as my thank you. This allowed me to do random drawings. This allowed me to call out your name and tell you you're a winner. This gave excitement. This made me feel good. I think it made you guys feel good. It added surprise to your day, and just everybody likes to win. Everybody likes to win. Unfortunately, the terms of use agreement says that I cannot do any games of chance. I can't do any drawings. That anything that is financial gain for chance is out. I understand. This is an international platform. There are different laws everywhere. They need to be able to comply with everyone. They have a terms of use agreement. I agreed to it. I need to comply. I get it. Not happy about it. I loved doing the drawings. I love calling out to you guys. This will be the last drawing episode. I've set up a poll over on Patreon where I'm asking you guys for some feedback about what you would like from the Patreon program. I feel that it is important to give back. Many of you have commented to me that my podcast is my giving back. Thank you. That touches me. That means a lot to me. Still, I want to give more. And where the drawing levels offered an opportunity for you to get yarn, exclusive colorways, other prizes, whether they were project bags or coupons, I want that to continue. I still want you to have access to that. And so I'm doing a poll where you have the option of saying, hey, I'm just here to support you. Or, hey, I've got a great idea and I'm going to message you. Or the other two options are that for each donation level, there would be a percentage available off of any purchase. Or, and this is the one I'm really leaning to, each month your donation would go towards tokens, where once you reach a certain level of tokens, you can exchange your tokens, your credits, for yarn. Initially, this was going to be only for the drawing levels. I'm opening this up and I'm asking the people who are on the subscription levels if they would like to do this too. What's my reasoning? Well, with enough tokens, you can exchange it for a skein of yarn. But reasonably, if you love a yarn, if you have a colorway that you really like, and you're thinking, hey, I'd like to do a sweater with that, or I'd like to do a bigger shawl with that, and I need 2, 3, 4 skeins, you could save your tokens and exchange them for as many skeins as you want, rather than just collecting 1 skein of each colorway each month. This is an option. It's something for you all to look at. I have another poll opened up for my subscription people so that you can weigh in. With this token option, this also allows for people who really just want to give and don't want anything back to simply never exchange their tokens if that's what they'd like to do. I will be keeping track of tokens. I will be messaging the credit level to everyone who is on a donation level, so that they can constantly see, okay, I've got 45 tokens. I've got, whatever the credit level is. This is all still really up in the air. This is something that I would like to resolve in the next week or so. The polls are still open over on the Patreon page. If you're a patron, please go over and weigh in and help me make this decision. This, however, is going to be the last drawing giveaway episode. That makes me a little sad. I'm very happy that I get to do one last one, but it does make me a little sad because I love calling out your names. I love telling you that you won something, and I would have loved to have continued that, but now you get to trade your tokens for yarn, or you get a percentage off, whatever it is that you guys decide you want. I'm really kind of putting this out to you, and it's about you. That's why I'm here. I'm here because of you, and this time that we spend is so important to me. I'm reaching out and I'm making a connection, and you're connecting with me, and that's what this is all about. So let's do a drawing, shall we? All right, I have my handy dandy random.org generator here. Let's get this loaded up. All right, at my benefactor level, I have 5 people at the benefactor level. They're going to receive yarn and a special knitting gift. 5 people at that level, I'm going to enter 1 through 5, and I'm going to hit generate. My winner this time is number 5, and that's Brian. I'm really excited about that because Brian recently signed on and he had never won, so he won. Yay. At my partner level, you receive a skein of yarn as well as a coupon for a free pattern. At this level, I have 1 through 8. So I'm going to enter 1 through 8 and hit generate. Sorry, I'm using this down here on the side. My winner is number 3, 1, 2, 3. That is Tara. And honestly, I don't know if Tara's ever won either. So this is actually, sometimes the universe speaks, doesn't it? Finally, at my contributor level, and these are the 3 drawing levels. At my contributor level, I have 3 people. And let's enter 1 through 3 and hit generate. And that is number 3, and that's Nancy. So Brian, Tara, and Nancy, you are the winners of my final drawings. Everybody else, I'm going to send out the regular shipments as before. We're not going to start any kind of a coupon level or a token level at this point. I am going to send out a coupon to everyone for a percentage off, just as an added thank you, as a special way of thanking you guys for taking the time to fill out my poll, for your feedback, for the generous messages I've received just thanking me and telling me that they're just happy to support. You guys are wonderful. Thank you. I have one other drawing I get to do, and I can do these drawings all I want because it's my terms of use this time. I'm doing a thank you drawing for everything. This is my 100th episode, and you should have seen John and I this morning. He said, "Are you podcasting today?" I said, "Yeah, I'm going to podcast today." And he said, "Isn't this your 100th episode?" And I said, "Yeah, it is." And he's like, "Wow, you've done a lot." we both recognize it. We both realize that that's an accomplishment. That's more than a year's worth of work. This is 2 years. We're coming up on 2 years of podcasting. And he's really proud of that. He's excited that I stuck to that and that I do that and that I have these connections. He asks about you guys. I read emails from you to him. We discuss things. We discuss the whole Patreon issue. He is very much a part of this and what I do. He can knit. He chooses not to knit. But he supports me in 100 other ways. He helps name colorways. He ties the yarn and prep for us for dyeing. He is my sounding board and helps me sort through issues and make decisions. And he's there just as moral support as well. And whenever anything comes up that is particularly, I don't want to say challenging, anything that really touches me, anything that causes a lot of thought, any struggles that you guys are going through, when you reach out to me and I'm just at a loss and I don't know how to provide the support that I want to back to you, he is a sounding board. He's there to help me look at things from different angles and advise me on what the most supportive angle is, how I can best give you my energy, how I can best support you in your growth, in your change, in your needs, and be respectful and not be overbearing or overpowering or take over and try and solve the world. And that means a lot to have somebody that provides that guidance and that really is supportive to all of this. This room is a disaster. This room is a disaster. Let's show you my world. My computer desk that looks like it exploded. Piles of yarn. My table. Piles of yarn. My drying rack. My photo stand. More piles of yarn. This is all in this guy's house and he's cool with it. I got a winner. So anyway, back to the whole point of this. I'm doing a giveaway, and that giveaway is a big giveaway. It's 3 skeins of yarn. It's a project bag. There's all kinds of other little goodies in there, and it's my way of saying thank you to you guys for all the support, for being there with me for 100 episodes, for guiding me, for asking questions, for making suggestions, for using my patterns and my yarns. Thank you. Let's pull out my handy dandy number generator and let's find out who our winner is. I have my list of all my entries here. Thank you guys. And I have my random number generator and I'm hitting generate. Our winner is number 1. And that is Wayne. Wayne, you won. I'm going to be sending you that package in the mail very soon, and I know you're headed back up that way, so I can't wait for you to get all your yarns. That's everything I have for you guys this week. Just really want to thank you for making this possible, for giving me 100 episodes, and I would love to hear from you about what you want the next 100 to be. I will see you guys in 2 weeks. I'm off to dye some yarn and get ready for my trunk show down in up in La Crosse, Wisconsin. And I hope to see you guys there as well. Have a great 2 weeks. Bye.